What's going on, guys? This is the Club of the Man 1993 coming at you for another live review of Monday Night Raw. We're going to go back now and look at everything that happened today on tonight's episode of Raw, the September 4th, 2017 edition of Raw, Labor Day, and also the first Raw of September, the best one of the year, in my opinion, because my birthday is later this month. So let's get right into it. Overall, I got to say, this was a pretty darn good episode of Raw. I had good expectations coming into it, as advertised tonight was the Intercontinental title match between Jeff Hardy and The Miz. We had we also advertised for that we were going to have John Cena versus Jason Jordan kicking off. I thought this could be a decent match, given the fact that despite Jason Jordan lacks in character, give him a chance to hang with John Cena and see what he could do, and have those two go at it. And of course, the main event. Big Show versus Braun Strowman inside of a steel cage. If I sound a little like wacky right now, I'm getting hit hard with a cold. It's that time of the year where weather here just goes up and down, and by hours go back and forth. So that's why I need to blow my nose really quick. But yeah. For the most part, we had some pretty good storyline development. There's only one segment, I gotta say, that kind of was a little bit of a letdown for me, in my honest opinion. But we'll get to that when we get there shortly. But yeah, let's get right into this episode of Raw. So again, this Raw took place from Omaha, Nebraska. We start off with a match, not a promo, a match between John Cena and Jason Jordan as advertised. But really getting curious to putting Jason Jordan up against some of these bigger names like Finn Balor, now John Cena. Like, are they going to be teasing more of a heel turn for Jason Jordan, as I feel it might be needed to help his character out? Because he's got the wrestling. He's phenomenal in the ring wrestling. I really think that this guy can wrestle. He needs to establish a character. Getting thrown into the storyline as Kurt Angle's illegitimate son, it has quite a little bit of effect on him because it didn't quite live up to the hype. But this match with John Cena overall, I gotta say, Jordan had a pretty strong show. It started off a little bit slow before the commercial break, which was too many commercials tonight, I thought, in my opinion. But afterwards, the match kind of picked up, and these two did bring out their best shots in each other. And Cena ended up winning when it was just 1 AA with the win. I mean, I was okay. I was expecting Jordan to win, but I thought, Jordan had good showing afterwards. There was a handshake, a sign of respect between Cena and Jordan. And then the big dog, Roman Reigns music hits. It goes to commercial break. Okay, we're about to get something big here. They're going straight to commercial break. When they come back, and another promo that has questions. How are you considering Roman Reigns a babyface? This right here established John Cena as the babyface of this feud, and Roman Reigns is the heel. He is the villain, and it established now John Cena is the one we want to see win, despite the fact that Cena is just the WWE's golden boy who just being shoved down our throats. We're establishing in a way that we want to see Cena win. I'm rooting for Cena in this match because this match has a Cena and Rock feel to it for WrestleMania 28. Meaning, we're finally getting two guys going at it where one guy's already very well established, and then Roman Reigns, who is established, but he hasn't stepped up to the plate against a guy like Cena yet. So if he can't beat Cena, is that momentum really going to keep going? Is he really going to be established as this guy? Oh, he really is that great, or he's not going to be really that great. But anyways, Colonel comes back, and Reigns, and this is one reason why, I question why I keep Reigns as the babyface, because he pretty much trashed Jason Jordan, asking Cena how come it took him 15 minutes to beat a rookie. And if he says he's as good as what he was, he'd be beating him a lot sooner. And Cena says he likes to string people along and find their weaknesses, and says he'll prove that at No Mercy, and he'll teach Roman Reigns a lesson about respect, as he does not respect Roman Reigns. He respects Jason Jordan, Chad Gable, even The Miz, who despite them having their differences, he believes scratches and claws. And that was strange, just having the feud they had. But John Cena endorsed The Miz, even when as far as them saying, telling each other they have no balls, and then why don't we just fight right now? But Roman says, but he says when they do fight, he says he's going to prove that Cena's nothing but all talk. and that's why he doesn't respect him. So another really good promo, and this felt real. The reason why this feud's been so successful so far, and why this should be a WrestleMania caliber match, is because basically they've been making it feel real. Two guys that Reigns since 2015 and Cena since probably the late 2000s have been shoved down our throats. These two guys go out what would really take? Who would you root for who? And right here they're showing Cena's what people would rather see win, because Cena has nothing to lose at this point pretty much. Reigns, is still could probably, this is gonna be a make it or break match for Reigns, how it was for John Cena and The Rock back at WrestleMania 28. We're not going to talk about WrestleMania 29, the twice in a lifetime. We're talking about once in a lifetime. So that's what I feel, and this is going to be even more looking forward to their match at No Mercy. We then have a match with Sheamus and Cesaro against Heath Slater and Rhino, with Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins on commentary, just an advertising for their rematch at No Mercy for the Raw tag titles. Match was all right. It was what it was. Nothing too spectacular, but it served its purpose. So, I don't have to say really bad, but other than that, it was acceptable for what it was. We then have Renee Young backstage interviewing the Hardy Boys, getting ready for the upcoming Intercontinental title match between Jeff Hardy and The Miz. And pretty much saying, Jeff says he'll either burn out in a blaze of glory, or he will win the title. So first, he's going to put on a show no matter what, no matter how old he is and whatnot. So then it's pretty much, for the most part, a 3-on-2 match, since there was the Miz Taraj and Matt Hardy there at the ringside for Jeff Hardy, and this was a pretty good match. And it started off as well questioning what's going to happen in this match as well, because there was a part of the match where the Miz Taraj tried to cause a distraction, helping the Miz out, and then Matt Hardy took them out, but the referee kicked out just the Miz Taraj and Matt Hardy. He didn't kick out Maurice. And this was a good match. I felt that these two brought out the best in each other. There was a couple of good flying moments from Jeff Hardy. I thought maybe he had a chance to win the Intercontinental title. He did go for a Swanton bomb, and this was the most heel tactics done by Maurice in this match. And I was surprised. I expected a little bit more with Maurice by his side, but it still led to a surprise finish for me. And I was happy with it. I was surprised that's how it went. But Hardy went for the Swanton bomb. But then before he went for it, Maurice first leaned in, just squeezed the Miz's hand just to wake him up, say, "Hey, look out! This is what's happening." And he got out of the way, and then the match ended with the Miz cleanly beating Jeff Hardy with a skull-crushing finale. So I was surprised to see Miz win clean. I was rooting for Jeff Hardy, but I'll give it to the Miz. I thought he had a good match. I was surprised he won clean, but I think the match made him look good. He didn't really win it through anything cheap, so I'll take it. I thought it was a great Intercontinental title match. Hopefully, he continues to put Ortiz back to the Intercontinental title, since the Dean Ambrose said Miz feud got dragged out a little too long, kind of downgraded just a little bit. But I think the Miz continues to do the work he's been doing, especially with the promo he cut the other week on Roman Reigns and John Cena. I think that kind of lit a fire back at him. So good match by these two. I wonder who will challenge the Miz for the IC title at No Mercy in 3 weeks. We then had this. Now this was interesting, because I thought this was going to lead to something else, going to be just repetitive, nothing to really write home about, or it was going to lead to something good, which it did lead to something good. It was a backstage segment with Kurt Angle and Nia Jax coming in, complaining that she deserves a title match instead of Sasha Banks at No Mercy. But then who comes out of nowhere? Emma comes in, and at first thinking, oh gosh, here we go again. Kurt's going to have Emma get squashed by Nia once again for the millionth time. Emma again saying how, last week she had give Emma a chance, or whatnot. And then she's like, now let's turn into hashtag give Emma the women's title. So then Kurt Angle said, you have an opportunity to earn that tonight. It was going to be a tag match with Nia Jax and Emma taking on the team of Sasha Banks and Alexa Bliss. And if Emma and Nia Jax won, then they were going to be added to the Raw Women's Championship match at No Mercy, making a fatal 4-way. I'm like, I'm all for that. I mean, at first I kept predicting just the triple threat match, but maybe instead, put Emma in there will make it fresh and finally give somebody else a chance at the title besides just the same people we've been getting. So that got me hyped. I'm thinking, okay, this actually could be pretty good. So then we get this 6-man tag match for the Cruiserweight division. And, I wasn't really like, I don't really care about this match at all. It's pretty much just a rematch from 205 Live last week. It was Grand Metalik, Cedric Alexander, and Enzo Amore versus Tony Nese, Drew Gulak, and Noam Dar. Even though before this match comes out, Enzo cut a promo, just, introducing his team of Grand Metalik and Cedric Alexander. I can't remember what he said. The only thing I remember that he said was he called Drew Gulak Captain Underpants. But also was expressed how last week Enzo won pretty much by kind of cheating a little bit. And that's the results here. We had a couple decent flying moments by Grand Metalik and Cedric Alexander, but Enzo was tagging himself in a couple times, and he actually picked up the pinfall victory again with the poke to the eye and that golden shining boot, or whatever the heck they're calling it, to the face of Drew Gulak to get the victory. So, despite the fact that it's the Cruiser division, I don't really care too much, and I don't really see much singles success in Enzo Amore as a singles competitor. I was a little interested actually in seeing this new side of Enzo, kind of cheating a little bit to win matches and try to steal the fame for himself. Could lead to a heel turn down the line. We'll see. But later tonight, Neville came backstage and said that tomorrow night on 205 Live, they're having the fatal 5-way elimination match for the number one contendership to face him at No Mercy for the Cruiserweight Championship. It looks like it's going to be, I think it's going to be Grand Metalik, which I'm glad about because I'm glad to finally get Grand Metalik TV time. Enzo, Cedric Alexander, Tony Nese, and the Brian Kendrick are all going to get a shot to become the number one contender for the Cruiserweight Championship against Neville at No Mercy. So, surprisingly, this was the lowest point of the show for me, but it was kind of interesting seeing Enzo, perform some dirty tactics to get the victory. We'll have to see where it goes from there. And then we have this backstage segment with Alexa Bliss and Sasha, both talking about how, either way, a fatal 4-way is not going to benefit either one of them. But, you're not going to smart talk me. But it's obvious there, that Alexa only stuck up to Sasha about winning because, the story here also with Nia Jax being involved and Alexa Bliss is pretty much just manipulating kissing up with Nia Jax. It's obvious because whenever they get into a ring face to face with each other, we know that Alexa Bliss is terrified of Nia Jax, which it's okay because, Alexa isn't the complete cowardly heel, but she is the one that gets her weakness exposed wherever she faces Nia Jax. So that she's not afraid to fight anybody else, but then come Nia Jax, she's completely terrified. But we have that. And then we kind of have what was kind of to be the lowest point of the show, in my honest opinion. Finn Balor came out to, well, I should say this was terrible, but this is kind of a little bit of a letdown of the announcement. Finn Balor came out and was talking about how good the NXT Championship looked around his waist. Talking about how good the Universal title looked around his waist, which he still never got that rematch. He deserves it because he never lost the title because he had to vacate it due to injury. And then he said the Intercontinental title could have looked good around his waist as well if it weren't for Bray Wyatt interrupting last week. So it's obvious that there's more business done between him and Bray Wyatt. And he says, he says, I'm not afraid of you, Bray Wyatt, and I'll be ready for you whenever you come. Even though you appear out of nowhere, I'm ready for you to come. And then Bray Wyatt cuts another one of his promos, which, at this point, it's I don't care too much because, he's just going to lose anyway, as we all know. He tells a story about using his bare hands for brutality and talks about using your bow and arrow. Pretty much say, some people have their strengths, some people have their weaknesses. Well, he says, Finn, you had to bring out the demon in you by putting face paint on yourself. at SummerSlam to beat me. But before, I didn't need any of that to beat you. I was able to beat just the regular Finn Balor. So at No Mercy, face me man to man and show me no mercy. So Balor, of course, obviously accepted, but this felt like a little bit of a letdown because I was expecting some type of stipulation for their blow-off match, but now it's just going to be them like selling it by having plain old Finn Balor without him being the demon face Bray at No Mercy. And to me, it was more, I felt like it would be more so like Bray Wyatt trying to, bring Finn into his territory, this kind of is, but just another one-on-one singles match between Balor and Wyatt isn't quite really clicking for me. Like, I was hoping for some big stipulation, even if it was buried alive. I didn't want to see House of Horrors. I was worried they were going to go that route, or steel cage, Hell in a Cell, heck, I don't know, but just plain Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt, another one-on-one match, doesn't quite appeal to me. So this was kind of a little bit like a letdown. Not terrible, it was a little bit of a letdown to me. But it wasn't too bad. We did have a match between Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and the Club. And before the match, though, Ambrose and Rollins were walking backstage, and they walked past the Drifter, Elias Sampson. Let me ask you something. Who wants to walk with Elias? So, Tia Couponer, thank you for joining aboard. Need to blow my nose again really quick. Sorry. But let me tell you something. Despite going to this match, I thought, yeah, Robbie, saying my name all right. Mike Ruggiero, baby. What's up? Robbie Wakanobe, baby. And Tia Couponer, baby. I'll give you guys that one there. But at first going to this match, I didn't quite have high expectations because it was just the Shield members of Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins versus the Club of Gallows and Anderson. Why did I care as much at first? Because it's the Club, and I thought they were going to look like even more of a joke than they've been built all year. But yeah, at least it's a fresh match. But I gotta say, despite the fact that the Club lost as they keep losing, I still thought this was one of their better matches in recent memory, and I really enjoyed it. And also adding in Cesaro and Sheamus coming down to the ring before the match started, arguing with them, and pretty much just instead of just being on commentary, standing at ringside watching the match. I'm thinking maybe this is going to lead to a triple threat. Maybe I wasn't sure if I want to see the triple threat though, because I'm not ready to see the Club as in the tag title hunt yet. So I went. So I gave the match a chance, and even though the Club lost again, I still thought it was a really good match between these two. Ambrose and Rollins continue to work very well together, and they keep their word, saying that when we're together, we are definitely unstoppable and we're a great team. Robbie in the comments said, Mike, should Gallows and Anderson move to SmackDown, NXT, or leave WWE? I'd say maybe not go down to SmackDown, but not go down to NXT. But I'd say yes. I'd be all for it. Well, if it was Ryan Ward's SmackDown, I'd say yes. If it was Road Dogg's SmackDown, I'd say no. But I really think that they should have just kept them with AJ Styles, because that was when they were at their best. And then ever since they split them up, they just haven't really been the same. So that, or personally, I'd say leave WWE and go back to maybe New Japan or whatnot, but I'm just not sure if they have anything to really accomplish there that they haven't done yet. Like, whatever would be best for their career. Even go, on the indies or something. But I just have mixed feelings about, where it should go because of, again, if they're being treated like crap on Raw, I don't expect them to be much better on SmackDown right now with how bad SmackDown's been under Road Dogg's writing. NXT, maybe? I don't know. The Club and NXT doesn't quite mesh to me for some reason. I don't know why, but they'll probably and yes, beat up John Cena. That was an amazing feud last year, Tia Couponer. But yeah, if they leave WWE, where else would they go? Like, again, I said, maybe go back to New Japan, but I don't know if they'll have anything to really do out in New Japan, in my honest opinion. But anyways, yes, I thought this was a solid match between these two teams. Give credit to Gallows and Anderson. Even though you guys aren't gained much momentum. I still thought you guys came out looking strong in this match. And then after the match, well, actually, this match ended before I get there with Sheamus and Cesaro trying to get the upper hand on Rollins and Ambrose, but Ambrose took him out, I believe. Ambrose took out, I think it was Cesaro, and then Rollins pushed, I think he pinned, I'm trying to remember who he pinned, which one he pinned. Whichever one he pinned, he pushed him right into Sheamus, who's coming up to the top rope. And yes, the Club versus Sandy would be amazing. Enzo the Cruiser Division is a joke, straight up. Yeah, I mean, again, as I said before, I'm kind of curious to see what they're doing with these, with him like cheating to win. Like that might be the best route to go with him if he can't really win as a singles competitor by himself. But again, we'll see what happens there. But getting back on track to this. Rollins pushed whoever call member was into Sheamus, rolled up for the pinfall victory, and then that's when Sheamus and Cesaro came in to try to they stare down Rollins and Ambrose, but then the Club attacked them from behind, blaming them for losing the match. But then Sheamus and Cesaro, of course, get the upper hand, pretty much just showing off, hey, you showed up, you showed off against us, so what you can do, this is what we can do. So even though the Club was fed to Sheamus and Cesaro, again, I still thought it was a strong show by them as well, setting up their rematch at No Mercy. We then had Charlie Caruso in the backstage talking to John Cone, who was the referee for the match back in April between Big Show and Braun Strowman. The last time these two went at it, when the ring collapsed, talking about how he is definitely a little bit nervous to be inside the ring again with these two again, but they do have the ring double reinforced, that way it doesn't happen again. Even though I thought it would have been cool to see what happens if they do like a superplex, like not just the ring collapse, but the steel cage just comes tumbling down as well. But I know that might have been a little bit too extreme to ask for. Because I think Enzo is next Santino. My internet AJ Styles at San Francisco Comic Con. Ooh, I'll have to see that, Robbie. Honestly, he possibly could be the next Santino as well. Just just some guy who's out there just for trying to be funny and humor. But I have to wait and see a little bit more. We'll see what happens. I mean, I definitely see the potential of being another Santino. But yeah, but actually also the other thing about the tag match before I get to it, how about that facial reaction from Dean Ambrose, whatever he had after the match, whenever Sheamus and Cesaro tried to one up them, and Ambrose is just like, ooh, so impressive, whatever. The facial reaction he had, I cracked up at that. Actually, let me see if I can pull it up here really quick. It was probably one of my favorite Ambrose facial reactions since this happened, since this one. This personally, that's probably, if anytime I think of Dean Ambrose, I just think of that face reaction. Those of you who don't remember, that was the night back in 2014 whenever Ambrose and Rollins were feuding right before Hell in a Cell. And Ambrose stole Rollins' briefcase. Oh, goodness. I said briefcase. You can't say briefcase. It's the contract. I said briefcase. 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 Vince, what are you going to do now? You're going to come out and say I said briefcase instead of contract? But anyways, and finally, Ambrose is like, here, just take the briefcase. Go ahead. I don't care. And he as when Rollins a little bit and that green stuff came shooting out of it, and it showed Ambrose's reaction out of it. That is literally probably one of my favorite face reaction for Dean Ambrose. And actually, also, I'm not even joking, I do have Ambrose's theme music on my phone. That I literally put this as the wallpaper background for Ambrose's theme music because this face just cracks me up all the time. That is my favorite reaction. But anyways, the interview with Jonathan Cone, and then even the Big Show had a pretty good interview going into the match as well. And the match happened. The main event, Braun Strowman and Big Show. These two just work really well together. I mean, a lot of people could say, a lot of Big Show matches are boring. I was definitely disappointed with what happened with him and Big Cass at SummerSlam. But him and Braun Strowman, they work really well together. And let me ask you guys in the live chat, even in the comment section, what other big men feuds can you think of have you really enjoyed in recent memory? Even though, Big Show and Braun Strowman has been more of like a Raw feud. They even put on 3 of the best big man matches I've probably seen in recent memory. And the match itself was really good. You know, they really took advantage of the fact they're big men in a steel cage, used the steel cage well as well. You know, a couple times, you know, had to go up to the top rope. Wondering, oh goodness, is like the double reinforcement of the ring going to be strong enough to hold these two from you know, doing stuff? Like Big Show did his elbow drop from the top rope onto the heart of Strowman. Strowman did another one of those suplexes, the same one that caused the ring to collapse, but with double reinforcement, it did not collapse at all, but the ring looked like it shook a little bit. And then Strowman did finish him off with a power slam for the victory. And yeah, so I think it was another solid match. Was it their best one? I'm not sure which one we say was their best one, but all 3 of these matches were good. Definitely the second match, maybe the second one might have been my favorite because of the ring classic, but this one was probably either my favorite or my second favorite. But after the match, Braun takes the mic and says that, see what happened to Big Show? Well, at nowhere, see, this is exactly what's going to happen to Brock Lesnar as I become the next Universal Champion. So it was like that's it. Strowman's walking to the door, and unlocks, opens up, but then he turns around. I'm like, this isn't it. And I was expecting something somewhat extreme to happen in this match, whether it was a ring collapse again or something with the cage, and it happened. Strowman picked up Big Show and just launched him through the steel cage. I went nuts. I'm like, oh my God, this is unreal. Like, you know, it keeps showing, you know, Strowman as being this legit monster who's just destroying everybody, especially the Big Show. Like, how could you not want to put the belt on this man? Literally. You know, I keep thinking I keep taking notes of stuff that I could think of for winner of the year and review awards video with Daniel Guys at the end of the year of like, you know, who could be the superstar of the year. A couple months ago, I could say I wasn't really feeling like a particular star to be the superstar of the year because I felt no one was really, you know, benefiting from anything quite yet. Like, things were good, but like no one's really, you know, staying out like AJ Styles did last year. But I gotta say, right now, I'm going with Braun Strowman. This is the year of Braun Strowman, making his moments matter. You know, suplexing Big Show into the ring and then collapsing. The cage breaking tonight. What else did he do? He destroyed Roman Reigns and tipped over an ambulance. He beat Roman Reigns clean at Payback, and he also won at the ambulance match at Great Balls of Fire, and he even survived a brutal crash into a semi thanks to Roman Reigns, and he's still a baby face, but you know, what can you do? And he's even, like, you know, taking out Brock Lesnar as well. So you can't tell me who else would probably be superstar of the year. In the live chat, Robbie said, do you think the feud with Cena can bring out the best in a Roman Reigns, ultimately lead to a major character and gimmick change? I mean, yes, definitely. I really, as I said at the beginning of this review as well, I think this feud, to me, this might have me going a little too far, as I said at the beginning of this review. But to me, this feels like a Rock and Cena match. Well, from WrestleMania 28, of course. Meaning that, you know, like, I really think, you know, Roman Reigns winning this match would give him all the momentum and give him a case to say he is the best. Just like how Cena's briefly got cut off, even though they had the Cinderella story, which I'm hoping does not happen. But I personally do think that this could be a make or break match for Roman Reigns. And that's why I want to see John Cena to win. And again, you know, how could you call Roman a baby face after you're having him pretty much? He retired The Undertaker and brags about it. He almost killed Braun Strowman. Even tonight, he had the guts to call Jason Jordan a rookie and make fun of Cena for not beating a rookie in like under 15 seconds. And no, I do not live in Omaha, Nebraska. But yeah, that's how I feel about that. And I hope this really, you know, helps Roman Reigns. And, you know, a loss to Roman losing this match to Cena will be interesting. But I think this is bringing out some of the best promo work Roman Reigns has definitely cut since being a singles competitor as well. But that is it pretty much, guys. Guys, thank you again, Tia Couponer, Robin Kenobi, tuning into the live chat for this live review as always. Yes, as Robbie says in the live chat, Alexa Bliss, baby! But, some will be rooting for Emma at No Mercy because my expectations are not too high for her winning it, but I'm just glad that somebody else in the women's division is getting a title shot besides Nia Jax, Alexa Bliss, and Sasha. Billy Kay, Peyton Royce, maybe. They could be up on the main roster soon. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, guys, that is it. I will before we go off the air here, I will look up my Twitter poll and see, what grades people are giving for Raw tonight before I give my grade. Only 2 votes so far. 1A and 1D. Wow. I was still a bit surprised about the D because I thought this was a really good episode of Raw tonight. And yes, Renault, baby, which it was also announced, I read earlier, that Corey Gray is now going to be working both Raw and SmackDown Live. Thank goodness they're not bringing back David Otunga. I was worried. You would have brought back Renault back on SmackDown because with Bully's not there anymore. But if I could give a grade for tonight's episode of Raw, again, I enjoyed pretty much everything. There's some stuff that was what it was, but it served its purpose, and I couldn't ask for anything more for it. Again, the only thing that kind of was a little bit of a letdown for me, just a little bit, was the announcement of just Finn versus Bray, man-to-man, no demon, no nothing, at No Mercy. So I would have to give this Raw an A-. Again, because it was a really solid show, a lot of great development, and I'm excited for No Mercy, which happens on September 24th, 2 days after my birthday. After my 24th birthday, and it should be a very awesome show. We have John Cena and Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar and Braun Strowman in a double main event. We have Emma getting a Raw Women's title shot in a fatal 4-way. Or yeah, an Inferno match too between Balor and Bray could have been a good idea as well. But nope, we're just getting just another singles match. But the Raw tag title match should be interesting. We'll see who the Miz defends the Intercontinental title against, and who knows if it's a Cruiserweight title again, even though I'm predicting probably going to be Enzo, but, it is what it is. We'll see what happens. But yes, exciting build-up. Raw continues to improve and get better. I've been enjoying a lot more on SmackDown Live. I'll be back here live tomorrow night for my SmackDown Live review, to see what happens. Maybe it'll turn around. Maybe it won't. We'll see what happens. Yeah, my grade's an A- for tonight's episode of Raw. What is your grade? Leave your thoughts down in the comment section. Please make sure to like and subscribe. Like this video, subscribe to my channel as well. And with that, guys, I am checking out. I will see you all later. Till then, guys, peace.